Okay, wait 1 second. The channel did grow. There wasn't clickbait. Our growth for this month did peak at one point at over 32,000, and the watch time was a little over 20,000. And I will tell you how I did that, so you can do it in the same for your channel. But first I want to talk about the name of the channel. If you've been around since the beginning, you know the channel used to be called Becoming YouTube. If you watch some of the old videos, you notice that I might have started out saying, hey, it's Becoming YouTube, baby. But I don't do that anymore. Also, the name's not Becoming YouTube. Okay, so the reason I chose the name Becoming YouTube way back then is that, way back then, it was like a month ago. The reason I chose that name is because I wanted to emphasize the fact that every month I wanted to bring a vlog, or whenever a milestone happened, of behind the scenes, kind of what goes into making a YouTube channel. So when you decide to make your channel, you have kind of like a roadmap, what to expect along the way. Then I got to thinking, you know, if YouTube, if this goes mainstream and I get popular and YouTube sees that I've branded myself Becoming YouTube, they might have a little bit of an issue with that. So I decided to get ahead of it while we had a small viewer base or subscriber base. I think at the time it was like 15. I just changed the name. So I chose Become Major Hardware because the emphasis of this channel, I wanted to be on hardware, technology, DIY stuff, and Major because I used to be in the Air Force, so I thought it would tie it in nice to my background. And also, if you notice, the last thumbnail I made has a little, you know, a little diagonal blue for the Air Force, and the Major emblem, that's going to be just basically to show that, you know, try to brand the channel, showing that this thumbnail belongs to this channel, which was a suggestion from one of the comment section. So I'm going to be doing that moving forward. The name is now Major Hardware, so if you see old videos that say Becoming YouTube, I just want you to know the reason we changed the channel name, because of that. Okay, so going back to the channel. I said at the beginning of this video that in this month we showed a growth for views of over 32,000% at one point, which is true. Here's the analytics for the month of April, and you can see that one time we did peak at 32,480%. And the way that I was able to get some more traffic on my page was basically self-promotion. If you're starting out YouTube, you need to know that if you make a video, YouTube's not going to take that video and throw it in the face of a bunch of people because it doesn't know who you are. You don't have very much watch time, you know, the SOE nonsense, blah, 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 algorithm. It's basically not going to take your video and put it in front of like a bigger channel like Linus Tech Tips or another tech channel that has a larger subscriber base. So you have to get out and do the legwork promoting your channel on your own. Okay, so the medium that I found luck with so far is Reddit, which Reddit is a great tool to use to promote your video, but you need to understand that Reddit, they're not too big on self-promotion. So you got to do it, you know, in a responsible way. You can't just go spam your video on every subreddit you can find because you're just going to end up banned from all of them. And that really doesn't do anybody any good. So what you need to do is find a video that you have and then find a Reddit that video will add value to that subreddit. So the video that I was able to submit and get a lot of traffic on was this video that I made about the softbox lights. So if you watched that video a while back, I made a video, it was like my second video, third video, one of the two, where I made basically softbox lights, and that was it. I made some softbox lights out of some cardboard, a trash bag, work lamp, some other nicks and necks, some aluminum foil. And that was it, and it worked great, and I used it for a long time until recently I broke it, and I did buy some new lights that you'll see in a future video coming up. So I went to the DIY subreddit, which is a very large subreddit, and I posted the video. Now I posted this video along with the video that I made, this was my first video where I made under cabinet lighting for my kitchen. So I posted that video and my softbox lights video. And the funny thing was, the under cabinet lighting got accepted onto the onto the channel, and it got 1,000 views, 1,300 views. It got quite a bit of traffic for it. But the softbox lights, they got denied. The moderator said this is more of a craft than a DIY project, and he axed it. He said, "No, you can't have it on the channel." So I was like, "Oh, that sucks." So, but I was happy. I got my DIY under cabinet lighting on there, and it got me 1,000 views. At this point, I had videos that were getting like 30, 50 views. If it was cracking 100, I was like, "God dang, going somewhere." So see 1,000 was just awesome. But I got to thinking, there's more than one moderator in a subreddit, and I just started posting on Reddit. So I was like, I didn't know it. I haven't been banned from anything. I didn't get any warnings. So I was like, if he said it sucked, maybe another guy won't. So I think it was like a day or two later, On a Friday, I submitted the video again, and I was like, we'll just see what they say. Maybe somebody else will look at it, because I think this is a DIY project. And I know a lot of other people on the subreddit make videos, so they could maybe find this video useful to make lighting. And I was surprised that I got a message back from a different moderator. He said, "This is awesome, great video, approved." And then immediately, right to the channel. And I was like, cool, man, I knew I'd make it on there. And I didn't think anything of it, went to bed. Next morning, woke up, I was like, let's see if I got any traffic on it. And the video had gotten 7,000 views. And I was like, geez. It was totally unexpected to go from getting like 50 to 100 views on a video to over 5,000 views. Keep in mind, this is like my third video I've ever made, and I'd had it on the channel for like a month, and it racked up, I think, 30 something, 56 views. And I posted on this DIY subreddit, and then overnight it gets 7,000. So I'm like, geez, that's great. And with those views came more views from my other videos, more traffic through my site, more people were looking at that video, liking it. Then they were checking out another video. They might not have, the other videos didn't experience the explosion that this one did, but they still got traffic. So getting people to see the video on subreddit, enjoy it, and then come to the channel and just look at other stuff just because was great. Also, I had probably 15 subscribers then, and in the span of a week that I experienced this bubble of growth, I got 100 subscribers. All just from seeing this video, liking what it was, and subscribing to the channel to see what comes next. Now, the video, I did get gilded from the video, which I didn't know at the time what that meant, but I got Reddit Gold and all this cool stuff, and they're like, hey, your video's gilded, so it's pinned to the top of the DIY gilded page, but it's not getting the traffic like it used to. It's still getting traffic, and my channel overall is still getting traffic, so the Reddit post really did help out a lot. Even though this video was originally karate chopped out of existence by one of the moderators, one of the other ones thought it was nice, posted to the channel, and everybody on the channel thought it was nice. That being said though, Reddit isn't one for self-promotion. There's lots of rules about it. You got to do it correctly, no more than 10%, da. And I was under 10%, I'd post the same video on a different, a crafting page and just immediately get banned from it. So you gotta just be careful what you're doing, because not every subreddit is the same. Not every moderator is the same. As you can tell, one says no, one says yes, and some just say, get out of here, you're banned. So you gotta do it right, and then only post your videos where they pertain to the subreddit or the topics that are being talked about, and only if they're allowed. If you're not allowed to post, videos, just don't even bother. It's not worth your time. But you need to know that you need to be active in the Reddit community. You need to be commenting, talking to other people. And a community that I found to be beneficial on Reddit is, I think it's called NewTubes. Basically, it's a channel or a subreddit that's just devoted to all people that want to make YouTube videos. And I think every Friday or Saturday they have like a self-promotion day, and you can just go in there and just submit your video. And then when you submit a video, you're supposed to look at 2 other videos, and those are guaranteed views. You can submit your video, look at somebody else's, give them some feedback, and you're gonna get some feedback, which is good. You need to take some feedback, and you need to make changes to your channel as you see fit. And if you notice any trends from comments, also make changes. But don't just stop at Reddit. Post on Facebook. Everybody, I'm sure, has a Facebook page. You're not like, oh, I don't want to post on Facebook. My friends and family will see it. It'll be embarrassing. Just get over it. Who cares? Blow that. I'm like, personally, I don't use Facebook for anything, so I just get on there and just spam my channel, because I'm not banning myself. Just look at it. And I've got friends and family that look at it and they subscribe, and hey, whatever. Every view counts, so you just need to put your video out there and just get over the fact that you think that somebody's gonna be like, oh, you're such a nerd. Who cares? Just get your video out there, get the traffic, and it's gonna benefit you in the long run. But one thing to know, if you get a video to gain some traction like I did with this DIY softbox video that's got, I think, 11,000 views now, you're gonna get a lot of traffic and you're gonna get a lot of comments. So you need to look at your, like I personally, if you're one that gets very upset with criticism, the internet's not gonna be kind to you. So you just need to take the criticism you get from the channels and either look at it as a one-off and ignore it, or see what they're saying. If you see everybody else is saying the same thing, well then there's probably something to it and you should make changes. So I busted out some comments that we're gonna take a look at and see exactly what I thought about such said comment. First criticism comment we're gonna talk about is one that I just recently got from a video that I posted from the mouse review. If you haven't looked at it, check it out. But this is one of the guys that commented, and he said, review felt unstructured. If you're gonna review a product, make sure you familiar yourself with the brand. and at least know how to pronounce the name. So what he's talked about is that I bought this mouse because I wanted to try an ergo mouse at work. I bought it thinking nothing of it. It's gonna be junk. I'm not gonna like it. It's gonna return it. But I ended up using it. So when I opened the box, I didn't even remember what I ordered. So when I opened the package, I didn't remember the name was, and it was some name that I couldn't pronounce off the top of my hand. So I looked at it and then I turned around and I said, I bought this brand. You know, I did some other takes where I looked up how to pronounce the name. I said it, but then when I was doing editing, I thought it was funny. So I left in, my unpronunciation of the name, and where I thought it was funny, not everybody did. So the next one's from Benjamin Limon, and he said, great video, but the background music was distracting. Any chance of losing next time? And he said some other hyphenated nonsense, but what he's referring to is the video I made where I took apart my AIO from 6 years ago, the one I had on my old computer. I took it apart to see how it looked like in the middle. What I did differently than I normally did was I chose music that was longer. So instead of taking the same track and then cutting and splicing in copies of it or new tracks, I found a long remix where it just had a bunch of different tracks remixed into one, and I was like, one big track, how easy? Not so easy. He didn't like it, he found it distracting. And then going back after reading, some other people said the same, and then I went back and I listened to it kind of through an unbiased opinion, and I did find that switching between the sounds of the different music was distracting, so I won't be doing that again, and I learned that from checking out the comments. Okay, so another criticism, or I don't even know if you call it a criticism, was from Jarrett Kinsman. He said, I would be careful with stuffing random lights into an enclosure like this. Not saying the video is wrong, but any followers need to be aware that it could cause a serious fire hazard if you're not careful. Lights can be hot. What he's referring to is the softbox light video. And he was concerned that if you were to stuff a light bulb in a cardboard box, you're gonna catch it on fire, which you possibly could. But the emphasis I made in that video was to use an LED light, because LED lights, while they do produce heat, are much cooler, and you don't have the chance of the light, burning your cardboard to a cinder. And I've been using those lights for like a month, no problem. Just make sure when you're using something like that, you never leave it on unattended. You just use it as you need. And if you notice anything like charring on the cardboard, probably should stop using it. But not every comment's gonna be negative. Obviously, majority of the comments I received were positive. And there even, if you look at your comments, there might be even ideas for future videos you can do. So for instance, from Reddit, and it's from Queen Earthia, I think she pronounces it. And she asked, can you make a video on how to make one of those light boxes? And I commented, hey, yeah, sure, if I can figure out what you're talking about. So I, looked it up, and I think she was talking about something like this. It's basically a box that's white on the inside and lit from the outside, and you can just take a picture of something that kind of makes it look like it's floating in a white absence of space. And I was like, yeah, sure I can. So the plan is that video is actually going to be made. I'm going to use my old softbox lights that have fallen on some rough times. But I'm going to repurpose them into this light box, and I'll show you guys how to make that. So make sure if you're looking to how to make a light box out of some cardboard and some other random stuff, to subscribe, and that video will be out at some point. I got a couple other videos I'm working on, but that one is coming. And some comments are just funny. So I did get a lot of comments. Here's 3 of them. 2 from Reddit, 1 from YouTube. But the theme was that I look like Chris Pratt minus a lot of hair. So I thought that was funny. I don't know. It's like a roast, but I find joy in the little things. So a lot of them. One was, when did Chris Pratt start losing his hair? That was a funny one from Reddit. You had a lot of mannerisms Chris Pratt does. Definitely not surprised to see comments on here about it. Thought that was funny. And then one from YouTube was this, you remind me of Chris Pratt. Simple as that. But that did seem like a trend. So that was funny. Saw that a bunch. But either way, just look at your comments. If you get a negative comment and you're like, oh, you don't think that, if it's just 1 out of 1,000, it doesn't really matter. But if you start noticing like 8, 10, 20, 1,000 of all kind of pointing out the same thing, you should probably take a look at what they're talking about, because there's probably something behind that you could probably change and improve the quality for your viewers. All right, so thanks for watching. If you want to see more of what's going on behind the scenes, make sure you subscribe to the channel, as we're going to bring these videos to you as milestones happen, or big things happen in the month. There probably won't be every month, but this month we did change the name of the channel, and we did experience some growth, so I decided to make a little vlog kind of talking about how Chris Pratt has helped out this channel a great deal. So Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more. Also, we got, like I said, I have new lights that I'm using right now. So bright. That I'm using in place of the cardboard lights that had a little accident. Basically, I dropped one and it broke, so I bought some new ones. And I'm going to repurpose those, like the Queen said, into the light box that she's looking for. I got a review coming out on these new lights that I'm using now, which I'm a big fan. Also, I'm currently making another DIY video, well, other than the light box I'm gonna make, to make a test bench that I'm making all out of 1/4 inch plywood. So I modeled a test bench in SolidWorks, and I'm gonna try to make it. I'm about halfway done now. I just gotta finish a few more pieces just a few more cuts, stain it and sand it. Other order, sand it and stain it. And it should be also up in the next few weeks, so keep an eye out. There's lots more stuff to come. And make sure you just have a good time. Thanks again. Make sure you subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.